Hey guys, so I have a dream. I had a dream a couple weeks ago, and I believe it's probably a prophetic dream. A dream from the Lord, but I don't know. I believe it's a prophetic dream, but is it? Guess I'll leave that for you to decide. So I'm gonna tell you the dream the best that I can remember it, and you can make of it what I guess you want, just a dream or something more than that. I can tell you what I believe it is and what I think the dream means. So I guess I'll tell you. Alright, so it started off, I was at school. I remember a girl coming up to me or someone else and asking a math question. I don't remember what the math question was, and I just remembered thinking in my mind, none of this will soon matter. And so then I just remembered being back at my house and just being back in my house, and my grandpa showed up, and my grandpa showed up and he seemed like in a panic. That's all I can kind of remember. And I looked outside. It was out the front door, out the front window. I looked outside, and it was like, it was overcast. It was like, well, let's see if we can focus. It was overcast like this, and there was spots like this, bright spots in the sky, and there was also dark and cloudy. It was dark. It was basically exactly like this. It was overcast, except there was bright spots, and the bright spots were only appearing over some buildings, which I thought was pretty strange. It was big, round, circular bright spots appearing over buildings and houses, and they just seemed to get brighter. They were like perfect, just circles in the sky over some houses and buildings. And again, they seemed to get brighter, like as if someone was shining a flashlight down in the clouds over the buildings. And I was just, okay, that's kind of weird. Looking at my neighbor's house, and there's a spot, and there's a spot, and I looked over our house, and there's no spot. So I'm just kind of being okay. And then from that spot, a person, this is where it kind of starts to get weird, a person descended from that spot, and, well, it looked like Jesus Christ. And people say, well, how do you know what he looked like? Well, yes, facial figures are hard to make out, but facial features are hard to make out, but he had a glow to him. He had a yellowish glow to him. I don't know if that signifies anything, but I've heard that colors are very important in dreams, and I looked up what yellow kind of signifies in dreams. It's more of like a life, like holiness, like positiveness, and that's he kind of had a yellowish glow to him as he kind of descended, and he came down from the houses and things that had bright spots over him, and he descended slowly as if a spider descending down from its web. Just slowly he came down, and then I just remember him taking up people in his arms. And I remember from my neighbor's house that he lives across the street from us, and I remember seeing the dream that he came down and took two people in his arms and just ascended back up into the clouds. And I'm just sitting there going, I'm just sitting there wondering, like, what is, and then it just clicked, like, it's the rapture. It was the rapture. I was just like, oh. And so then I looked above our house again, and there's no spot. So I was just kind of like, oh, that's not good. So then I ran into the garage. I'm not sure exactly why I ran to the garage. Ran to the garage, and I just got on my knees and started praying and said, I remember exactly what I said in the dream. I said, okay, one second. I'm remembering different parts of the dream. I remember praying, saying, Lord, please, I'm trying to remember the exact words. He said, Lord, please do not forget me. Just something along those lines. Is, Lord, please do not forget me. And then I just remember waking up. I looked at the clock, and it was 3:33. Not sure what that means either. And so I was just like, alright. Then I remember saying in my bed, I was like, Lord, please let me finish this dream. And so I went back to sleep, and I was back in the exact same dream. So I came from the garage, and I looked to the right, and we have a big window to the right, and looked outside, and it was like, all I saw was there was big machines, and on the bottom of the machines were giant rock drills. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen them, like the weird, like, turning. There was giant rock drills, and the machines they looked like buildings. They looked like skyscrapers, and they were just destroying the land. I don't know what this signifies, but it was like the machines. I say machines, but I don't know what they are. They're just giant cylindrical machines that look like buildings, skyscrapers, and they had giant rock drills on the bottom, just destroying the land. And I was just kind of like, well, all right. Again, I walked out to the front door, looked up, and then there was a spot over the house, and I'm just like, over our house, and I'm just like, oh. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. So then I noticed. Then I walked out the front door, and I stood, and I could show the exact same spot I stood out the front door. I walked, and I just stood there. I looked up, and there came Jesus coming down. Well, before that, I noticed that there was a black fog that had descended over everything, like black, like like a fog, just kind of everywhere. It's all white. It was black. It was a black fog that had literally just engulfed everything. It was slowly just descending upon everything. I'm just like, whoa. And I looked up what black means in a dream, and that was of death and destruction. And, oof. So then he came down, took me in his. I was standing facing forward, so that means he took me by his left arm, and then just ascended back up into the clouds, and that was it. That was the dream ended then. That was the end of the dream. So I've told this dream to a few friends and family, and I told them what I thought about the dream, and they're definitely saying, yeah, that sounds like a prophetic dream to me. And so, what does that mean? I couldn't tell you. Does that mean the rapture soon? God, I hope so. But so I just kind of took it as the black fog is that something's coming over the land to destroy everything, that everything's going to be destroyed, that death is coming upon everything, or that's a being of light, of goodness, of love is coming down to take up the people who were with him, believe him, love him. I mean, that's at least what I made out of the dream. That's what I made of the dream. I mean, it's a very vivid dream. I remembered a lot of details from that, and I'm trying to remember if there's any details I missed, any details I left out. And so a couple days after I told my dad the dream, I was like, "Hey, Dad, who lives at that house right there? The house where God came down and took up two people." I was like, "Who lives in that house?" And my dad was like, "Well, I think it's just a wife and a husband." I was just kind of like, whoa, so two people. I didn't even know two people lived there. I thought it was like a family, but no, just two people. I was just like, oh. God came down and took two people out, and my dad said two people lived there, and I was just blown away. So, I don't know what that dream signifies, if the rapture's coming soon. If it's not, I don't know. I guess I could leave it up to you guys what you think of it. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Post your opinions down in the comments, what you think of the dream, whether it's just a dream or something more than that, or just thank you for listening, and bye. God bless.